This game involves Nathan Caton and Ed Gamble, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And the first topic is home life. Nathan.
Yeah, I could talk about home life. I still live at home with my mum still. Thanks for the judgmental silence. Yeah, I live at home. My mates give me the most stick for it, because I'm the last one in my group of friends who still lives at home with my mum. They've all moved out, so they see me as a mummy's boy. And every time they see me, they're like, Nathan, what's wrong with you, man? Why are you still at your mum's, man? Are you embarrassed? Why are you still at your mum's? Why are you still at your mum's? It's like, I live in West London. Have you seen house prices? I'm not going anywhere, man. If anything, I'm looking at my mum thinking, when are you going to bloody leave? Clinging on, let it go, woman. She's gonna slap the black off me when she sees this. So, yeah, I like peace and quiet. Although, to be honest, at home, I'm not getting a lot of peace and quiet at the moment, mainly because of my mum and my stepdad. They got married quite recently. And I'm happy for my mum. You know, she found happiness, she deserves it. However, at the moment, they're going through that honeymoon phase where they're having sex all the time. Yeah, it is bloody disturbing, man. Because my bedroom is, like, right next door. So, like, every time they do it, I hear everything. Like, a few Saturdays ago, right? It's late at night, I'm about to go to sleep. From next door, I can hear my stepdad going, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, lord, say something nasty, say something nasty, say something nasty. So I screamed out, you're not my real dad!
Thank you very much, Nathan Caton. OK, that leaves us with Ed. Let's see what topic you've been left with. And the topic is diet.
I hope this isn't just a hint that I need to lose weight. Because I've lost quite a lot of weight recently anyway. I've lost about 6 stone in the last 3 years. Cheers, guys, thanks. I mean, no. Too late, you went with the British reaction. Thank you very much. Just couldn't give a shit, mate. Carry on. We don't... Stop showing off. We don't want to hear about it. Found myself in a bit of a nightmare situation recently. I went to the Middle East to do some gigs. Now, that bit was nice, that was lovely, but they put you up in a hotel where the food is all-you-can-eat buffets 3 times a day for 10 days. Now, this is a nightmare scenario for me because I cannot be trusted at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Sometimes I don't even remember the buffet bit. All I remember is picking up a plate and I'll wake up 6 hours later covered in rice and sauce. And I can't theme a buffet. I can't theme a buffet either. I won't pick up a plate and go, oh, I'll have some rice, I'll have some curry. Well done, Ed, you've made yourself an Indian meal. Won't do that. I'll get a plate, I'll get a spoon, and I'll run along the full line of trays, just scraping food from every nation onto it until I've got some sort of plate Pangea, just an unidentifiable mass, just Spanish food, Japanese food, Chinese food, Indian food, coffee, sushi, just horrible. Just wedge my face into it, everyone going, is that man all right? Don't look at me! I'm having a buffet! Just food from all over the world. My body for 10 days had no idea where I was on this planet. I went for a shit 3 days in, a UN flag came out.
The first subject is alternative medicine. Can I have a volunteer to talk about that? Andy.
Apparently, a lot of people trying to get into therapy at the moment, other people knocking it, saying, you know, oh, well, you should just lose your inhibitions, talk about your problems to your friends. I thought I'd try this. I talked about my problems to my friends for a whole hour. Lost my inhibitions, also lost my friends. I now tell my problems to taxi drivers. 2 advantages in this. 1, it stops the taxi driver from telling you his problems. And 2, it's amazing how much quicker you get to your bloody destination.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is the media. Who wants to come into that? Russell.
I'll do that. I'd see, you know, the way I like getting the news is Radio 5 Live. It's fantastic, 'cause it's just news and nutters, isn't it? They'll read out, like, that was the Pope's view on abortion, and then, hello, Felicity Puddleduck here, livid and ill-informed. I'd just like to say those harlots should give birth to their children aged 2 that charged you to national service. I'm off to bake a cake. And Saturday they're listening, and then the next night, David, are you out of your mind? Cloning? Think it through. 2 versions of me. Want to go out and commit a crime? Who gets blamed for it? Me! I'm doing a 20 stretch. He's banging my wife. Where's the justice? And you sat there listening to these nutters, and then the most ridiculous story. A man in Bristol's found the face of Jesus on a crisp. And suddenly, I couldn't believe how you put up my frazzles. There he was!
Russell Howard. OK, the losers Hugh and Frankie. The next topic is sport.
Do you know, I've heard a rumour that horse racing may not be completely honest. It's unbelievable, isn't it? But how do you stop the corruption? Well, one solution may be to call horses something like mafia-backed second favourite. Because if everyone did that, everyone would be confused, no one would know who to bet on, and the whole thing would be fair again. And they're off, and the first to show is blatantly bribed, followed by mafia-backed second favourite. They're just ahead of Dope to the Gills, Mysterious Limp, and just behind them, Out for a Canter, and I'll Fall at the Fifth. And as they come to the fifth, I'll Fall at the Fifth has fallen. I'll Fall at the Fifth has fallen at the fifth in a magnificent display of cheating, and they're coming into the final furlong. Mysterious Limp is slowing, Out for a Canter is clearly struggling, but coming through strongly is mafia-backed second favourite, and as they cross the line, mafia-backed second favourite has won it, which is remarkable, seeing as he has no head. That's been left in someone's bed for tomorrow morning.
Well done, Hugh. Well done, Hugh. OK, Frankie, let's see what you've been left with. And it's environment.
Didn't that used to be an advert for mints? Ryanair getting a hard time from the environmental lobby because they've launched a £7 flight to New York. Although, as always with Ryanair, it does land slightly outside New York, in Dublin. It's a pity we can't harness more natural energy, isn't it? Pity we can't harness the power of British moaning. Oh no, that moaning-powered light bulb's on the blink again. Oh no, there it is, back on. Everyone complained about the floods, didn't they? I like storms. I like thunder and lightning. What I like to do during a storm is shag my girlfriend and pretend that we're taking part in the conception of the Antichrist.
Frankie Boyle, ladies and gentlemen. The first subject is relationships. Who wants to come in that? Reece.
It's a pretty exciting time for me at the moment. My girlfriend is currently planning the wedding. Sorry, not girlfriend anymore, is it? I keep doing that. It's not girlfriend. She gets so annoyed. My ex-girlfriend is planning her wedding. It's very hurtful for me to watch, but one of those things. Anyway, got a new girlfriend now, because that's how comedy works. Got a new one, and she's all right, my girlfriend. She's pretty good. She's not perfect. She's got her quirks and her tics, like she pronounces it espresso instead of expression. She's weird. And... relationships about compromise, though, aren't they? We all know that. Like, she doesn't want to watch football, and I don't want to die alone, so we don't watch football. That's the yin and the yang. You give and you take. We're trying to keep it fresh, trying to keep it exciting, me and my girlfriend, you know, trying to keep it, you know, lively, try new things all the time. Like, she keeps talking about how she wants to have sex outside of the relationship. I don't know. Constant surprises, me and my girlfriend. She bought me a gift the other day. I went round to the flat. There was this gift. It was a word of the day calendar. Don't know if you've seen these. Pretty cool. Different word every day of the year. That is more than 100 words. Pretty cool. Favourite word for me so far from the calendar? Exponentially. Ah, what a word. Exponentially. Use it all the time now. In fact, I'd say, ever since learning the word exponentially, my use of the word exponentially has increased loads. I use it all the time. Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, Reece. That leaves us with Milton. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is transport.
So I got here by train. For the whole journey, there was a child opposite screaming. I could even hear him through my wolf mask. But it was a quiet carriage and people were getting annoyed, so in the end, we both stopped howling. Then a stewardess got on the train. She looked at me and said, "Do you mind if I do my makeup on the train?" I said, "Well, it's still going to look like a train, isn't it?" She put her hand out and said, I'm Amber. I said, yes, I think you've overdone the makeup. Anyway, one thing led to another, and, well, I'm going to skip a bit now. I was sitting in traffic the other day, and I got run over.
The first subject is jobs. Who wants to come in that? Glenn.
There were loads of jobs I wanted when I was a kid, whether it was starting up a Ouija board business with my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, or becoming a detective like Poirot or Craig David's girlfriend's parents in Fill Me In. I always wanted to be a movie star, you know, like a proper method actor like Eddie Murphy, because, you know, Eddie Murphy is so method and so committed that to get into the role of a vet in Dr. Dolittle, Eddie Murphy actually spent 10 years starring in lots of other shit films. It's so expensive everywhere you go if you don't have a job, you know? Like, I stopped getting haircuts after a while because there's hidden costs even when you get a haircut. Like, you think you're paying for just the haircut, and then at the end of the haircut, the hairdresser does that really annoying thing where they try and convince you to buy one of their mirrors and go, oh, what do you think of this? Do you know what I say? I say, I don't want to buy one of your mirrors. I want you to wash my hair at an angle I've otherwise never been at. So expensive everywhere you go. Like, I used to get the bus to work every day. Get this, £29 per bus journey. £29 per bus journey is insane. And not as insane as this woman who used to sit on the top deck every day with a microphone telling us where in London we were. £29 per bus journey, you can't even afford a roof. It takes 3.5 hours to get between Buckingham Palace and Westminster, neither of which are places I work at. But, you know, for the first time in my life, I thought, I've got a job. I can buy things. I can buy things for my room. I can buy a chest of drawers and a desk lamp and a flashing neon halal sign for my window. And when you get a job, you think, oh, great, now I'm a proper grown-up. Next step, getting married, having kids, so I can be one of those proper adults who can call themselves on Facebook and LinkedIn a father to 2 amazing daughters, mother to 3 amazing sons. And I can't call myself that because I don't have those kids, and people don't really like it when I call myself a nephew to 3 gorgeous uncles.
Thank you very much, Glenn. OK, that leaves us with James. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is growing up.
Oh, I thought it was feet for a second there. You grow up in little bits and increments, in my opinion, bit by bit. I think the first time you become even a little bit of a grown-up is when your parents start letting you make your own squash. It's a big day, because until then, my mum was making all the squash all the time, and I don't want to offend if she's watching, but it was the weakest-ass squash I've ever had in my life. It was so bad, I'd have to squint at it. Like, I guess that's got a vague orange tint to it. I'm trying to imagine what that tastes like as a flavour when I'm drinking it. Then you go around some other kid's house whose parents are a bit more laissez-faire. That squash knocks your socks off, it's incredible. I'd be like, whoa, you got access to this squash on the daily? He's like, yeah, but my parents don't pay me much attention and I'm worried they don't love me. It's like, I would leave it all in a heartbeat. For one sip of this squash, tell your dad I love him. Tell your dad I love him. I had to make a squash for my nephew recently. First time I made squash since I was living with my parents. I haven't done it in between because I'm an adult who doesn't have kids. And I know there are some adults watching who don't have kids who drink squash, but let me tell you, if you are the kind of person who drinks squash, even though there's no kids in the house, you got bodies in the walls and heads in the freezer. I don't trust a single one of you. I was out of practice making squash and I had to make it for my nephew, let me tell you. I should have really, like, given myself a side view so I could see the glass proper, but I didn't. I'm 32. I got so close to the glass still, so I looked straight down at it. Just straight down. It was just a flat circle. I had no idea of depths or dimensions. I hoofed it in. I damn near gave that kid type 2. It was bouncing off the walls on Fun Uncle James's mega squash, losing his mind, going looping. At one point, he starts asking me weird questions. He goes, Uncle James, how come my lip skin is different to the rest of my skin? I was like, I've never thought about that, but now you've said it, not a day's going to go by when I don't think about it. And imagine if your whole body was lip skin. It'd take you hours to get ready in the morning. She'd be stood there with a chapstick. That's if you were the only one covered in lip skin. Obviously, you'd have a little chapstick. If we were all lip skin and that was just the whole human race, then there'd be like a giant chapstick in the living room from floor to ceiling, rotating at the speed of a kebab spit. The whole family would line up like cats on a scratching post. All over it in the morning. And then we'd walk out into a world where no one could shake hands for fear of becoming aroused.
Thank you very much, James. And that round, points go to James Acaster. Well done. The first subject is credit crunch. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Now, the government have got this idea that what they want to do is bankers who've lost their jobs, they want to retrain them as teachers, but in half the time it would normally take to train a teacher. I bet the teachers are happy about that, aren't they? Hey, these people were crap at banking. The chances are they're also going to be crap at teaching, and they'll be even crapper if they're trying to train them in half the time it would normally take. Yeah, these people, right, surely it'd be better to retrain them as bankers. That is what they were crap at.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is eating out. Who wants to talk about that? Rod.
I ate out the other day. That's what I went to Cardiff Bay. It's all changed, you know. They've done it all up, and it's all European development money. And some of the places now have got tables outside. It's al fresco dining in Wales. Just taking the piss. I think I tried to have a Twixt on a bus stop a few years ago down there. It was too wet to eat. So everyone's pretending it's Madrid down there. You know, your soup bowl's filling up faster than you can eat it. I didn't get past my starters after 7 hours of soup and rainwater I gave up. Everyone's pretending it's Madrid down there. So your soup bowl's filling up. There's waiters with frosted eyebrows fighting their way to the tables going, spaghetti carbonara, spaghetti carbonara. I'll get another one, I'll get another one.
Rock that bar. That leaves us with Tom and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next subject is extreme sports. Who wants to come in on that?
No,
Tom.
why not? I went skydiving. I don't know if anybody here has ever gone skydiving, but if you haven't gone, I'll tell you what they do. They give you a couple lessons, then they bring you up into the plane, and you're not allowed to jump out of the plane on your own because it's too scary. So what they do is they hang you off the wing of the plane, which isn't scary at all. And the guy inside, he yells, "Let go!" 3 times. Then he gets mad. Starts kicking your hands. 'Cause I'm not letting go. We all skydive different. I skydive with a big plane in my hand.
OK, Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is families.
Well, families are quite peculiar. Mine are wonderful. I went to Brighton the other day, and my uncle was like, "Watch out, it's full of gays, and they'll get you. They'll get me. They're gays, they're not ninjas. Not gonna..." I'm so glad that I was raised by lunatics. I remember one of the weirdest stories I had happen to me when I was little. I was 8 years old. I was in Lanzarote. I just put some rubbish in a bin. I came around a corner and I was confronted by 2 werewolves, right? Turned out it wasn't werewolves, it was my mum and dad. Ah, ha, ha, isn't it hilarious? Not really, I've shat myself, right? But I've only recently found out they did not buy the wolf masks in Lanzarote. They bought them in England, which is beautiful and chilling at the same time. Look what I've got, David. Couple of wolf masks. You know, you don't like wolves, don't you? Captain Shitterbrick next door. Well, let's put him on now, scare him. Can I hold you just there, David? Can I wait until we're in a foreign country, get him really out of his comfort zone, and then properly shit him out? Families.
Well done, Russell. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge to produce the funniest stuff. That is just against nature. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the first topic is Britain. Who wants to come in on that?
Yes, I love Britain. Do you? Kind of. I think Britain's amazing, but I think we're quite hard on ourselves. Like, if you go to America and you do shows, they always get this thing where you go on stage in America, like in Chicago, and you say, oh, so what's Chicago like? And they go nuts. They go, woo, yeah, Chicago, woo, 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 for about a day. And then you come back over to Britain and you go to somewhere like Birmingham and you say, oh, so what's Birmingham like? And they all go, oh, it's a bit shit. I live in London, in Britain. I live in Kentish Town, which is lovely because it is actually like a Kentish town. Unfortunately, the town in Kent it's like is Maidstone, which is crap. North London's quite posh, though, because there's a hairdressers near us, which is called the Elysian Fields Hairdressers. Oh, it's where heroic hair goes to die. Where I used to live in South London, the hairdresser was called We're Gonna Cut You, Slag.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is sport. Who wants to come in on that?
So, hey, Freddie Flintoff, how drunk would he have been on Monday night? That's all I've got on that one. We have got a great new British hope for our sport, though. Laura Robson, Britain's tennis, 15 years old, both her parents Australian. We don't mind immigration when they've got a bit of talent. We object to people sneaking into Britain on a rubber dinghy unless they can do it really bloody quickly.
Thank you very much, Ali Parsons. OK, that leaves us with Greg and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is education. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I remember school being fun. I think my favourite moment ever in life, pretty much. There was a girl in our school called Lydia. She was trying to make her calculator work. She was repeatedly knocking it against a desk. And after about an hour, our teacher went, Lydia! How would you like it if I banged you against the desk? It's the greatest day of school. But now it's more sinister, isn't it? Like, they're now talking about teaching 5-year-olds sex education. Of course, people are very angry. It's disgusting! It's too much! Like, calm down. Not going to teach them technique. Right, this is how I like to do it, kids. That's right. Kids aren't going to run home, put dolls around a toy car and go, look, Mum, they're dogging, they're dogging. It's going to be some poor teacher trying to talk to 5-year-olds about love. Can you imagine a harder job? Hello, children. I'm here to teach you about love. Good luck with that, mate. I'm off to lick that tree.
Thank you very much, Russell. OK, Greg, let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is the human body.
I have to tell you that being a tall man in this country is tedious, ladies and gentlemen. Tedious, because in small towns throughout the country, there are a series of jokes prepared by the locals on our behalf. I'll be walking innocently into a local pub or down the street, and I'll get several jokes. One of the jokes might be this. Just to give you an example of the level we're talking about. Another joke might be, what's the weather like up there? It's freezing. There's a massive climate change in this amount of space here, you toothless buffoon. And probably the most offensive example of this is genuine. I was at a cash point, and there was a little old woman in front of me at the cash point tapping away with her claws, and I'm sorry, I'm just quite angry about this. And when she'd finished, bless her heart, she turned around, and she hadn't seen me, she turned around and she went like this. Oh! Maybe not that sexually. She said, oh! And then with no hint of irony at all, she asked me this question. Would you like a job at my house? Changing light bulbs? No. No, old woman. I have plans of my own. Now, get out of the way of the cash point. 20 minutes is long enough for you to have worked out that that's a Tesco club card.
Thank you very much, Greg. First subject is sleep. Ebra.
Does anyone here sleep with someone who snores? Yes. Well, I envy you, because I lie awake next to someone who snores. My wife snores terribly, and part of what keeps me awake is lying there going, how do you sleep through this? I can't sleep through it, I'm only next to it. The noise is inside your head. And how come you can sleep through that? But the sound of me making a sandwich in our kitchen, that wakes you up. There is no way me making a sandwich makes more noise than you're making right now. She snores so... She said the cutest thing to me one time, though. She says, do I not sound like a kitten purring? Bless. No. You sound like a cat drowning in porridge. If I had a kitten made that noise, I'd put it down. Apparently she had her nose broken a couple of times when she was a kid. Didn't teach her, she's still bleeding snores.
Thank you very much, Ed. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is health. Andy Parsons.
With flu jabs now, what they do, don't they, is they put a little bit of flu into you to help you combat the flu. I was thinking by that argument, surely you should be able to have the odd cake to help you fight obesity. Because let's face it, you can do too much exercise, can't you? You know, did you see Madonna's arms? They didn't look right, did they? It's like half human, half Terminator. Of course, that's the problem when you're always picking up small African children going, no, no, no.
Thank you very much, Andy. OK, that leaves it with Russell and Jack. Let's spin the wheel. The next subject is television. Who wants to come into that? Jack.
I get very frustrated with pretty much everything on television. I find adverts at the moment particularly annoying, like the banking adverts, because they're trying to portray bankers as being nice people. Like, they've got this one at the moment for, like, a mobile bank that travels around the country, and you walk in and there's your friendly local bank manager acting like a hairdresser, like, nattering away. You know, you walk up to the till, it's like, oh, how was your holiday? I went camping. Oh, why did you go camping? Because you lost all of my money! Decided the only option I've got is just to not watch TV at all, because everything annoys me. And I've got quite a lot of people that pressure me into doing that as well. Like my dad, he's quite old-fashioned. He's always saying, you don't need to watch television. You should do other things, better things, more edifying things. Don't watch TV, Jack. You should read. Read the great novels. They're entertaining, they're educational. Even read the Bible. The Bible is engrossing. It's enthralling. The stories of Jesus, they're encapsulating, they're invigorating. I'm like, no, Dad. If I wanted to be entertained by 12 people sat round a table trying to impress some bearded Jewish know-it-all that thinks he's some kind of deity, I will watch The Apprentice.
Thank you very much, Jack Whitehall. OK, Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. That's fitness.
Could have been camel toes. Now, I was in the gym the other day. I was in a locker room, and a 5-year-old boy ran in and jumped into a locker. Now, sometimes you know you're just going to have an incident, right? You could hear him in there giggling, and you knew what he was going to do. He was going to jump out and scare his mates, because his mates appeared seconds later, like, where's Stephen gone? Where's Stephen? He was there a minute ago. This is most irregular. And he waited, not for his mates, but for 3 huge naked men. It was fantastic. They were kind of walking past, and this little kid leapt at those men like a cat with rabies. It was incredible, right? Just from nowhere, the noise they made, I've never heard a noise like it. They sounded like a tugboat getting molested. It was like, His long-suffering dad is in the shower, has obviously heard this and went, "That'll be my bloody boy!" Ran back, confronted this glowing hellbeast and went, "Stephen, what have I told you about acting up in public?" And this little kid cut his dad down with one very simple sentence. "Dad, your willy's moving?" And you're just there going, oh, the world is a better place.
Thank you very much, Russell. At the end of that round, the points go to Ed and Jack.